It's Josh and Chantel, and this is Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast, a replay of today's full show.
It's Tuesday, June 4th. On today's show, we talk about one of Hollywood's oldest beefs. Josh feels old, and why shouldn't he? Assigned work parking spaces, hunting the Loch Ness Monster. I give some sports talk. And Josh gets angry about putting your cart back into the corral.
Thanks for listening. You can catch the show live weekday mornings from 6 to 10. Enjoy Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast. Classy 97. It's Josh and Chantel. Hey, good morning.
Hey.
June 4th. It's a Tuesday, and today is Invisible Day.
Oh, that means that we get to go home. I know, my microphone is so squeaky.
And not be invisible or not be visible at work?
Yeah.
Is that what you think that means?
Yeah. And then people say, oh, where's Josh and Chantel? Oh, they're here. They're just invisible.
Well, that's not really what it means.
Oh.
Today is celebrated across the United States, not just as a playful idea of invisibility, but as a meaningful nod to mental health. It's a call to disconnect from constant digital chatter, reconnect with ourselves. Invisible Day supports taking a break to unwind, reflect, and enjoy our own company away from the pressures of social media and work. So, yeah, you're not supposed to be at work. But you didn't know that. You didn't know that 2 weeks ago when you were supposed to put in PTO. It is International Corgi Day today. It is also National Old Maids Day.
Oh, no.
Do you like shopping carts?
Sure.
They're convenient.
They serve their purpose.
It is shopping cart day. Yeah, it is. World Day for Assistive Technology. That's really cool. These are, whether they're peripheral devices like keyboards and mice and stuff that help people that may need assistance being able to use technology. These are devices for those folks, which I think is kind of cool.
Great.
It's Hug Your Cat Day.
Don't have
It
one.
is National Cheese Day.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
They should have made the cheese day on the cheese rolling day.
Oh, sure. Or they should have put Cheese Rolling Day on Cheese Day.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds better.
And last but certainly not least, today is National Safe Day. It is ensuring the secure firearm storage, which enhances community safety, fostering responsible ownership practices, and prioritizing household well-being. National Safe Day. Very important.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening.
That's what you
on
got.
Tuesday.
Here we go.
Yep. Good
Bring
morning.
it on, Tuesday. Josh, what are some feuds that you can think of?
Family Feud.
No. You didn't understand the assignment.
The old West two families doing the shootout across the
Hatfields
thing.
and McCoys?
That's them. Yeah, that's a feud.
What's another one?
That's
the only one I can think of, too.
Oh, there's got to be
I
more
thought you'd have
famous
to-
feuds.
It doesn't matter. Here's a really famous feud. Are you ready? What are two? This one's going to surprise you. Think of two of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
Hugh Jackman
No.
and
No.
Ryan Gosling.
No, no, wrong. Tom Hanks
Okay.
and Henry Winkler.
Okay.
Oh, they have a beef with each other.
No, they
yeah,
don't.
they do, for reals.
For what?
And this goes all the way back to their 1989 comedy, Turner and Hooch.
I watched that movie.
Did you?
Yeah, while the rest of the family fell asleep.
Recently you did?
Nope.
Oh.
I was a kid. I was at home. My mom and I were the only two that were able to stay awake to watch a movie, so we watched that. And someone that night tried to break into my dad's truck.
What?
Yeah, and he had this was back in the day. So this was probably early 90s, right? When that movie came out.
Yeah.
We had rented it and we were watching it, and we heard this noise, this weird alarm noise. And turns out somebody tried to break into my dad's truck.
Were you the
night.
only one awake?
Oh, me and my mom, and then we had to go wake up my dad. It was a whole thing, and chase people off the property. It was a whole thing.
Wow.
We had a feud.
All because of Turner and Hughes.
Snooch. What happened?
I don't. My mouth got broken. It's fine. Just keep going.
Okay.
So years ago, Henry Winkler even said, let's just say I got along better with Hooch than I ever did with Turner. No. So apparently they were scouting locations when a woman came out of the store yelling, "Fonz, the Fonz." And Henry said to her, "Of course you know Tom Hanks." And for some reason, that apparently offended Tom Hanks. And then Henry Winkler was fired 13 days later. He was supposed to direct the movie.
Oh, wow.
And then he got fired. And he thinks it was Tom Hanks' fault that he got fired.
And all he was doing was trying to say, hey, don't give me all the attention. There's this other guy here, too. He was being nice guy.
Can you even believe? What a beef.
What a beef. Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
There was a family in Massachusetts that was away from their home over Memorial Day weekend when they got a phone call that their house was on fire.
That's a very scary thing.
By the time they got back home, a big chunk of their house was in ruins. They're specifically kind of their garage backyard area.
Was the fire department on scene when they got home? Do you know? Or?
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
They were having some work done on their house, and the fire was started by a combustible material that the workers had left in the trash can by their garage.
That's bad news.
The family was looking at some security footage when they saw an Amazon delivery person open their garage door to deliver a package. Amazon has this thing called in-garage delivery.
Okay, where you can say,
where they'll open
leave
your
it
garage
inside.
door and put your package inside for an extra $1.99. Turns out the delivery guy gets there. He opens the garage, and in the security footage, the garage door opens, and you can see the driver walking through smoke to leave the package inside. The fire was in its early stages, but it wasn't a little cloud of smoke. It looked like enough smoke that something was seriously wrong. The driver even stood in the smoke to take a picture of the delivery.
Yeah. Look, he's got a job to do.
He left and didn't call 911 or report.
Hey, I'm not here to ask questions. I'm here to deliver this package and move to the next one.
Here I go. It would have been a massive help if he did call 911 because the fire wasn't called in until 3 hours after that delivery was left. So he could have saved quite a little bit of damage being done. The family complained to Amazon. Initially, the customer service managers refused to deal with it because the driver didn't start the fire.
Yeah, but he also, he literally, it's not his responsibility. I understand where they're going, it would have been nice.
It would have been great.
But he could have had earbuds in. He could have been in his world. He could have just been hey, again, not my place. Maybe they were grilling. Maybe they're not good cooks. You don't know what's going on. So he's there. He's taking his picture. He's moving on. Oh. I don't fault the Amazon guy.
I don't fault him either.
I fault the combustible materials left, which somebody should have known better.
Right.
That's the problem.
Some people are bringing up Amazon's bad reputation with the employees, suggesting that the driver may have been worried about being penalized for delaying the rest of the route.
Absolutely true. I'm on that side of the whole thing.
That's so crazy, isn't it?
He had a job
I think it's crazy that, because I did watch the security footage. There is quite a bit of smoke that he walks through to deliver and takes a photo of.
Was the package destroyed, I assume?
Yeah, the package The package did not make it.
So that's a bummer.
I know.
Do you say package not delivered at that point? How do you handle that one?
I feel like maybe Amazon should give you a refund.
That's kind of a different issue. You like a little football, do you? I heard a thing or two about you might like some football.
I did. Last year.
One of the options, as they call them, for your favorite quarterback.
What are you talking about?
So Kirk Cousins
he's
moved teams.
Dead to me.
No, he is not. Listen, he's in Atlanta because of a myriad of reasons.
Yeah.
And one of his options, people to pass the ball to, is named Bijan Robinson.
I've heard of him.
Okay. So this story's about Bijan
Okay.
from the Atlanta Falcons, who's one of the options for Kirk Cousins.
I can't even believe you're talking about the Atlanta Falcons right now.
Well, Bijan Robinson, he's a running back for the Falcons. He spent his college playing at the University of Texas, and he's been away from college for a year, and he wanted to support his community in Texas, so he donated $300,000 to help the homeless in Austin. The organization he donated the money to is called Mobile Loaves and Fishes.
Oh.
And it's a special project that they're doing that aims to offer affordable permanent housing and a supportive community for men and women who are coming out of chronic homelessness.
Oh.
It's a big move and
so
perfectly
nice.
timed as Bijan is currently training to start his second season in the NFL. His focus will be on playing football for months and months and months to come here, but he'll be able to watch from afar to see the impact that his donation is having on the community that helped him achieve the professional success that he's now enjoying. So it's a little give back.
That's nice.
$300,000 to help the homeless in the city of Austin. That's a big deal. Way to go, Bijan.
That is nice.
From the Atlanta Falcons.
I didn't mean to huff. I'm mad at the Falcons
No,
because
you're not.
they stole my Kirk Cousins
They
away
didn't
from the
steal him.
Vikings.
They didn't steal him.
They did.
Kirk left.
I know. Stolen.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Rehired somewhere else
Ugh.
to continue his career.
I know, and it makes me upset. And so I don't want the Falcons to have good things said about them because I'm mad at them.
Well, the Falcons didn't do anything wrong.
That's
but
a nice story.
Bijan's good news to get you going. You like football, do you?
Yeah, I'm normal. I'm fine. It's normal. We went geocaching over the weekend.
It's been a little while since we've done that.
I feel like, do we have to explain what geocaching is?
Look, it's 2024. If you don't know what geocaching is, go to geocaching.com and find out.
You started geocaching in early 2004.
2004, 2005. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Before a lot of people knew what geocaching was.
Well, yeah.
And then I remember, because I was pregnant at the time when you started doing it, and I remember thinking, this is such a nerdy little hobby that he's involved himself with.
Well, and I had like an uncle of sorts that introduced it to me. He was from Washington, and it started in Washington, and it was just catching on. There wasn't many of them out there. It was kind of an underground sort of thing. It wasn't very popular. Like, people didn't know about it. Access to GPS technology was incredibly expensive, so it wasn't something that people were like jumping into.
Right. And then you got into it from then on out, you got really into it for the first, 2004, I'd say to 2009, 2008, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
In Pocatello, there was a huge community of geocachers.
Right.
And you guys would have events, and you would go
all over the place.
All over the place.
Yeah.
You would hide these really great puzzles that people would have to find. The community of the geocachers at that time was really amazing. We went out this weekend. You haven't gone in a long time. We got skunked. How many did we?
Two. The first two we went out for, we did not find. And I was like, this is bad. Like,
and then the one you found
good.
was completely wet, soaked. Everything inside was just wet.
I had to repair it. Which I do, as I feel like that's being a good steward to the sport. You gotta, if you find something broken, you gotta help the owner take care of it, replace a log, whatever you gotta do. You know. And for people that understand the game, that makes sense. For people that are like, I have no idea what this guy's talking about right now, that makes no sense. But that's what. Go to geocaching.com and find out. It is good. No, it's a fantastic game.
No, but I feel like you've gotten back into it a little bit. You paid for a membership.
I did. I
are looking at all these different puzzle caches that are out there.
Yeah, I've been trying to solve some of the more elaborate puzzles that have been eluding me for a lot of years, and so I've been diving into some of those, because some of this, you've got to really think about to try and solve. And so anyway,
those are the ones you prefer, right? You don't just drive to.
I'm not big on let me just go find a bunch just to make my numbers bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, I've found over 700, which is a big deal.
Wow.
But that's not that big a deal. There are people that have found thousands upon thousands upon thousands. So it's not like I'm, an expert or anything, but it is a great, great fun adventure.
It is fun.
And I've seen places in Idaho and Utah, and, if we travel sometimes, you can look and see if there's stuff around. And I have seen places and gone places that you never even know exist if you don't play the game. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you. Finding an old hobby that you love.
Yeah, because that's what I needed. I needed another hobby that, that I don't have time to, fully
commit to.
Yeah, that's right. Let me pick up another one. Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel. Do you remember what shirt I wore yesterday?
No. Blue? No. That's today.
I'm right in front of you. Blue? No.
I don't know.
It was the Game Boy shirt.
Oh, yes.
And it said Game Boy, had the old school Game Boy, said since 1989 on it. Mm-hmm. That was the shirt that I wore yesterday.
Yes.
We have young people that work here.
Uh-huh. They didn't know what a Game Boy was?
No. There was one young person who works here who came to the studio and was talking to me about my shirt. Oh, that's a cool shirt. And then wanted to talk about Game Boy. Oh, I had a Game Boy. And I went, oh, yeah, I still have this one. I still have this from 1989, the original. She's like, oh, my grandma had that.
Oh, no. Ouch.
My grandma had one of those. That's not it.
Well, we're of grandparent age. We would have to be young grandparents, but yes. Whew.
Never in all my days.
In all your days.
Have I been told that I am the same age as someone's grandma. And I'm struggling with this one. I wasn't prepared to be wearing a shirt with a Game Boy on it that references 1989 and then be told that that's as old as someone's grandmother.
It's vintage, Josh.
And
vintage is cool.
I'm totally down with that.
Plus, I bet you got super cool points because 90s are all the rage right now. 89 is close to 90. So I bet that young person was like, he's pretty dope.
No, I don't think that was the vocabulary. I feel like she went, this old man is trying to seem hip with his...
Be careful. Hey, Grandpa, be careful with your hips while we're talking about it.
Nice.
Be careful.
Oh, no.
You're the same age as someone's grandpa. Grandma? What'd they say? Grandpa or grandma?
My grandma had one of those.
You're the same age.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
You have, well, we both have here at the radio station. The same. We park in the same spot every day.
Yep.
I haven't really noticed. Do other people that work here do the same thing?
Pretty much.
It's like they're unannounced.
Yeah, like
parking spots.
If we had signs, you would kind of claim spots.
Yeah.
It's always weird when you start in a new place. Like 2.5 years ago or whatever, when I started here with this radio group, I had to find where I should park.
Right, and you don't want to park in somebody else's spot.
Yeah, but then when you get here early in the morning, you kind of get your pick of the lot.
Yeah, you do.
So,
nobody else is here, so you get to say,
I guess you get
park in here.
Park around me.
I don't know if I took somebody's spot when I arrived, but that is my spot. I park there every day now.
Right.
And because I'm here before everybody else.
But there are people that give you grief about parking so close to me and let you know that, look, we aren't, like, you can park anywhere. It doesn't mean you don't like me if you park somewhere else.
I understand, but it's closest to the door.
No, I know.
And in winter months, I like to be closest to the door.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. There's a spot in my other job that I feel is mine.
Oh, Is that right?
Yes. And I park there
Well,
when it's available. Even
you have
if
to be permitted to even park there. Is it other people that are also permitted parking there?
It's people who work at the same place that I do.
And do they just shuffle around? They just park wherever?
And that is not how the world works. You can't just shuffle around.
Why?
Because that's my spot. I like that spot.
I might tomorrow just park in your spot here.
Well, I mean, you and I interchange here. But, okay, I got to talk about this spot at my other job. Because I like this spot because when it's time for me to leave, I can just pull forward and get out in a very quick manner.
There's not a parking light or any kind of big concrete thing in front of you.
Go drive, go forward.
Right.
And I like that spot. That's my spot. And it's not the closest to the building by any means.
Right. But
it's actually one of the furthest away.
It's the convenience of not having to put your car in reverse.
But I like it.
Because anytime you have to do that, it's a scary time.
Well, and that parking lot is tight.
It is.
And especially when there's big trucks in there, which there usually are, it's pretty cozy.
Yeah.
So I like that spot. Now, this coworker that I work with doesn't always park in that spot.
Uh-huh.
But occasionally she does. But I'm always like, you're here before everybody else. You can have the pick of the litter of any spot.
But maybe...
Why are you picking that one?
Maybe she just doesn't even give it any thought.
I know.
She's like, I'm parking.
I know she's not out to get me.
Or maybe
I know
she
that.
is. Maybe
she
she is. Maybe she's like, I know Chantel likes this spot. I'm going to take it, make her park next to the big concrete thing. So she has to back out later.
I don't even mind backing out. That's my spot. I like that spot. That's my routine. To park in that spot. Don't park in my spot.
Have you handled this outside of passive aggressiveness?
No, that's not the way I operate.
You haven't just said, hey, I'd appreciate it if you didn't park there.
No, I would never. Never. Because that's not how I roll.
Then you're just, I guess, going to have to deal with it.
I'm just going to complain about it on the radio is what I'm going to, that's how I deal.
Well done. Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
What is the nerdiest thing you know about me?
You are always Blue Yoshi in Mario Kart.
That's not nerdy. That's the only character to be.
You really pride yourself on your ability to play that game?
I'm pretty good at Mario Kart. I am. You can't deny.
I don't argue.
This isn't a story about Mario Kart.
I know that when I am Luigi, I am faster than you.
Bro, we're not having this fight right now because the only reason you win is because I taught you how to drift. Whatever. We're not talking about this right now. What we're talking about is that I am a big fan of the Loch Ness Monster.
Yes, you are. Yep.
I really, really want the Loch Ness Monster to be real.
And you want to be friends with the Loch Ness? What's the deal?
I just want to see it. I just want to see it. And I promise, if I see it, I won't tell anybody.
We have
It'll just be a secret.
A soup ladle.
Yeah.
That is Nessie. Yeah. And so when it's sitting in the soup on the stove,
it looks like his head.
Nessie's head sticking out of the soup.
I don't know. I must have heard that story when I was little, and it just captivated me because I've been obsessed with the Loch Ness Monster for decades. They had the largest search for the Loch Ness Monster over the weekend.
Why weren't you there?
I don't know.
Did they find anything?
What do you think?
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
People from all over the world travel to Scotland for it. And hey, Scotland, even if you don't find the Loch Ness Monster, you're still in Scotland.
All right, that's fair.
So they had people, like everyone across the lake, just spread out. They wanted to have as many eyes as possible watching every inch of the lake at once. And what they ended up finding was... Nothing. 0 Nessie sightings.
Oh.
And this article says probably because the Loch Ness Monster doesn't exist. And that, my friends, is a lie. He just wants to be found when he wants to be found. He's hiding. He's shy.
I like the old picture that just looks like someone's hand sticking up like this, like doing ostrich hand. Oh, there he is. Look, Do you see it?
Yeah, that black
Messy.
and white photo.
You know the one.
That guy.
It's all grainy.
He admitted that was a hoax.
Yeah,
but
it was this.
Yeah, of course, because the Loch Ness Monster would never look like that. Also, he wouldn't ever allow to have his photo taken. So, whatever.
Oh, you and the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah, that is the nerdiest thing I know about you. You're correct.
I want to see the Loch Ness Monster.
No, I heard about it.
I know.
Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
We like to watch birds at our
Yeah,
house.
we've tried to create a critter sanctuary of sorts.
Yeah, except our dog is chasing them all away.
I don't know what she's got against the birds. It's kind of hilarious. Like, I'm upset about it because I want the birds to feel welcome. And when she's inside, they come and they use the bird feeders and the bird bath.
They're
and
not
stuff.
afraid of her. They just don't.
Well, they're afraid of. They're birds. They have a flight reaction to fears. So when something startles them, they fly away, and that's not nice. But I like we've got multiple bird feeders, we've got hummingbird feeders, we've got bird baths, we got all kinds of fun stuff. Squirrel feeders, we got all these things. I like when they're sitting up on the power lines and she stares at them like she's gonna grow wings and be able to go get it.
And they look at her like, get out. What?
Yeah, what are you?
Okay. So there's a couple of finches that have been coming to our finch sock that we just got.
Yes.
And posted on our bird feeder.
Yeah.
And they have a red head.
Yeah, that's the house finch.
Okay.
And that's the male.
That's the male, right.
And
so
then
they usually come in pairs. Like, I got to tell you what I saw yesterday because I loved this.
Yeah.
Me and the dog were inside, so they were able to come and enjoy it.
Okay.
So they come in pairs, these finches.
Yeah.
They come as the male and
the
female.
Okay.
And the male eats first while the female watches.
Really?
And she sat and looked around and watched while he ate, and then they swapped positions.
Really?
And then she ate while he took a look out.
That's very cool.
I know. I sat and watched him for a long time because I was like, this is fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. They got each other's back.
I know. But they always come in pairs. I've never seen them in more than two.
Huh.
And one will always keep a lookout.
Well, and then we've got the feeder out front, and it was windy yesterday, like it is every day, apparently. And there was a finch that was eating out front and was hanging on to the bird feeder as it's swinging around, and that looked like a rough time. I just don't know if he knows there's food in the back where the wind isn't as bad.
I don't know if he does either.
I don't know how to tell him.
Hey, go to
I
the
got
back,
more
buddy.
in the backyard. It's better back there.
Or they know that there's a dog back there, so they're like, I'm not going back there. Luna the reason I saw the finch was because our dog needed to go outside, and I said, "Oh boy, not yet."
Yeah, we're waiting for the birds.
And so I stood and watched at the window, and she kept whining at me, and I said, "Just hold it,
just for a minute."
They're not done eating.
That's pretty cool, though. I'm glad you got to see that. That's
it was
fun.
Cool.
Yeah, I would watch that.
They'll be back, I'm sure.
As long as
the dog's inside.
Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel.
As a Minnesota Vikings fan, we've been in turmoil.
Have you?
A little bit. Yeah, we lost our quarterback. We got a new quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
But apparently he needs some practice. He's not a number one.
Everyone needs practice.
I get it. Okay.
He was drafted in the first round. It's fine.
Okay, but we also didn't have our receiver. Our main wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, hadn't signed anything either yet. So he was kind of just off in la-la land until yesterday.
You locked him in.
We locked him in yesterday. He signed a $140 million deal, and that makes him the highest paid non-quarterback ever.
Well.
Isn't that something?
They had all that Kirk Cousins money to play with.
Yeah. That's fine. We don't need Kirk Cousins.
All right. So you locked in Jefferson for how many years?
4.
A 4-year deal.
Yep.
So that's good.
I know.
That means you don't have to worry about him for 4 years. Okay?
Yep. What happened?
You're fine. Keep going.
Okay. He declined a lucrative contract renewal at the start of last season that would have paid him $28 million a year.
Smart of him to hold out.
But instead, he said he bet on himself, and the bet paid off with just even more, more lucrative contract.
Way more money.
He is also one of the only 5 players ever to amass at least 5,000 receiving yards in his first 4 seasons.
Well, aren't you just so into these stats?
And he's averaging 98.3 yards per game.
Wow.
So come at me. Anybody else?
Hopefully somebody can throw him the ball.
Ooh. This is your...
I know it is.
Oh, okay.
I'm just trying to pull up my stuff. I showed you this video of this lady the other day who said did I show you this video?
Yeah.
She said she was not going to take her shopping cart back.
Yes.
It drives me nuts. It's a litmus test for a good person. If you do not take your shopping cart back, you're a bad person. That's it. Take it back to the corral at the very least. That's it. That's all I have to say.
What I know about you is you're a very patient, you're a very even keel kind of person. There's not a lot that makes you upset. You're very calm. When you see empty carts just randomly
take your cart back,
browsing about in the parking lot, it makes you so angry.
It's you're forcing somebody else to have to do extra work, and it's rude. Take your cart back.
Those cart corrals are there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's usually not difficult to take it back.
And they put enough of them around that even in some of the biggest parking lots, and you have to go, where is that thing? You can find it.
Mm-hmm. This video you watched, the video that you're talking about, is a mother of young children.
Right.
And she said...
I want to agree with her to a point.
She has a point. She said she has young children, and so she has to unload them from the cart and put in her car.
Yep.
And then she said, and you expect me to leave them alone in my car while I take back the shopping cart. And I'm not going to do that.
She in the video said, I'm not returning my shopping cart, and you can judge me all you want. I'm not getting my groceries into my car, getting my children into the car, and leaving them in the car to go return the cart. And a lot of people are like, dude, your answer to your solution is the best one.
Park close
next to it or a couple of spaces away from it so that it's less than 10 feet away.
And here's the other part, too. Even if you don't park that close to the shopping cart corral, you can buckle your kids in. They're going to be fined for what? 2 minutes?
Not max. 2 minutes?
2 minutes is
30 seconds.
Yeah, I know.
It's 30 seconds or less.
You can lock them in the car, take your keys with you. They're not going to suffocate. They're not going to die of heat exhaustion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this lady is definitely taking it to an extreme. And I'm telling you right now, here are reasons why you might not to. There are reasons. They put together a list of reasons you might not do it. The corral's too far away from your car. Too bad. Walk. They have a child with them and they don't want to leave them unattended. Again, park closer. That's the solution to both of these. The weather is bad.
But then that's even worse for the person who has to come and gather
That's what I'm saying.
them.
Now you're leaving it out here. And if it's windy, which it's never windy, it pushes the carts into people's vehicles. Put it back in the corral, man.
Yeah.
Look, they do say this, if a person has a disability, that's probably the exception where I'd go, listen. And I don't know everybody's situation. I don't need to know everybody's circumstances. I'm not up there policing the carts. But if you're a capable human being, put your cart back. The next thing on the list, why people don't do it, they believe it is someone else's job.
Oh.
Right?
See, I don't think that it's somebody else's job to gather them. It's somebody's job to gather them from the corrals and bring them in.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, that's no easy task, trying to wrangle all those carts.
Right. Yeah, I don't want that
They
job.
always look miserable when they're trying to do it, especially in the wind and the snow or the rain.
Yeah.
They're out there still working.
We get that awesome slush snow that happens, and people are like, I can't push it. I'm just going to leave it here.
No.
This is where it goes. Or they'll leave it up in, like, the flower bed thing. You pushed it up into the flower bed, but you couldn't walk it 3 cars away to the corral.
Right.
It drives me crazy.
That's not somebody else's job to get it out of the flower bed.
So that lady's getting a lot of different reactions online, of course. But you know what I'm saying is just put your cart back. Be a good person.
is pretty easy.
It's real easy. The thing has wheels. You pushed it for an hour through the store. What's 30 more seconds? Classy 97. It's Josh and Chantel. Good morning.
Hey.
You want to know what I just learned?
What'd you learn?
I learned that the most expensive toy ever sold happens to be a Boba Fett.
Oh, Boba Fett's your favorite Star Wars.
He's very cool. My favorite Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. Okay. Sure. It's a rocket-firing Boba Fett Star Wars action figure. It is the world's most valuable vintage toy. It just sold at auction. Guess.
$12,000.
$525,000.
Oh.
$500,000. The toy was never released to the public because it's a rocket-firing Boba Fett choking hazard.
Oh, no.
Yeah. There are only 2 of these things around. There are only 2 of them.
Where's the other one?
Exist. I don't know. And the toys have only survived because someone at the toy factory rescued them from a box of discarded toys deposited there for employees to take home.
Oh.
So you can't even get these.
I thought they'd be headed to the incinerary.
The what?
The incinerary. What's it called? The incinerator? Is that what it is? Josh.
I like incinerator better than incinerary.
Okay.
The incinerator is correct.
Okay.
But basically, it's this small Boba Fett, and he's got a backpack with the rocket in it, and it's spring loaded, and you
I feel like
hit
I've
this
seen
little
that toy
mechanism.
before.
No, you haven't. There are only 2 of them in existence, and when you hit this little thing, it goes. Beer.
Yeah, I've seen that. Maybe not on a Boba Fett, but I've seen that toy before.
Wow.
On another Star Wars.
$20,000 for that thing. Isn't that crazy?
You kind of want it, though, don't you?
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm not spending.
There's only 2 of them.
I bet there's more.
No.
I bet there's more.
There's only 2 known.
Exactly.
I mean, they
There's
made
more.
a whole bunch, but they put them in the incendiary or whatever you called it.
I didn't say that.
You might have said that.
I did not.
Classy 97. It's Josh and Chantel.
Cyndi Lauper. Want to
Yeah.
guess how old she is?
Oh, 64.
Oh, close. 70.
Really?
Yep. She has announced her Girls Just Want to Have Fun farewell tour.
Wow.
It started yesterday. She's going to be hitting 23 different cities. She's going to be headlining. Oh, no, she announced yesterday. It
Okay.
begins in October and will go across North America, and it'll end on December 5th. So it's only 2 months. She's going to be joined by a couple of special guests who will be announced at a later date.
Okay.
This announcement comes alongside a documentary that's coming out about her. The documentary is called Let the Canary Sing, and it talks about her life and career, and it's only in Paramount Plus.
Okay. Well, that's cool, though.
And that premieres today.
Well, you can get a little bit of a preview then.
Yeah, and then she is also going to be honored with the Chinese Theater Hollywood
Star
Walk of Fame.
Cool.
So
I'm surprised that she doesn't have that already. That
I am
seems like
actually,
something
too.
that she would have already had back in the heyday of things. But, well, good for her.
I know. Farewell tour for Cyndi Lauper.
Classy 97, it's Josh and Chantel with your Would You Rather This or That question of the day.
Would you rather be half your height or double your height?
Oh, man.
Half is your
I'm
what?
5'7".
Okay.
So I would be...
Half of 5'7". Let's
Which
Google.
is 2.63 something, 2.652. I'd be over 2.5 feet tall, but not quite 3 feet tall.
You would be 2 feet 9 inches.
2'9".
2'9".
Or I could be 11'4". Something like that, 11'3".
Double
11 feet tall.
5 feet.
I can't be 11 feet tall.
But you want to be 2 feet
11'2".
tall? That's what you're going with?
I don't want to be 2 feet tall.
You'd rather be 11
I would rather
feet
be
tall.
11 feet tall.
Oh, not me. I would rather be, I don't know. Because there's perks to being tall. You'd be able to see.
No one would ever stand in front of me.
That's right. Because
Do you know how tall 11 feet tall is?
You'd be taller than most ceilings.
Yeah.
You'd have to duck to get in anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have a hard time finding clothes or shoes. You'd have to get a specialized car. But if you're 2 feet tall, you wouldn't probably be able to drive at all. You know? Why are you quiet?
There was an 11-foot tall man.
Was there?
His name is Robert Wadlow. Tallest man in the world. 80 years after his death, he is still a household name to many in the Midwest. He died at 22.
Oh, no.
In 1940 from complications of a foot infection.
Oh, no.
He was not 11 feet. He was 8 feet, 11.1 inches.
What'd you say?
That's the Guinness World Record, because I read 11.1. He is 8 foot, 11 inches. He was almost 9 feet tall.
Whew.
That's so tall.
I'm going half my height. That's what I'm picking.
I'm going taller.
Okay.
We're going to be a weird-looking couple. It's Josh and Chantel with your Better Today Than Yesterday Daily Challenge. Doing a little something better today to make today better than yesterday.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Why do you say it like that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Practice mindful conversation today. You know what that is?
Tell me.
It's when you're fully present when talking to someone else. No distractions, no thinking about what you're going to say next.
That's called active listening.
Mindful conversation, they call it. Here, immerse yourself in conversation and see how feeling it, here's what it says. Immerse yourself in conversation and see how freeing it is to just go with the flow. Practice mindful conversation today. No distractions, no thinking about what you're going to say next. Just listen and be in the moment.
I've tried to active listen many times, but I also have been paying attention before to other people's conversations and seeing most conversations, like the other person who's not talking is just waiting for their turn to say what they want to say. Have you ever noticed that?
I don't know that I've paid that much attention.
Pay attention to somebody else's conversation.
Yeah.
And it's usually the person not talking is just waiting.
Like, I can't wait to say what I have to say.
Thing to come
because
out.
they're so busy worrying about what they're going to say next.
Yeah, I know.
It's your Better Today Than Yesterday Daily Challenge. A little something you can do today to make today better than yesterday. It's a challenge.
You know what would make today better than yesterday?
What?
If it were Saturday.
Well, you're not wrong. That is going to do it for us. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 to 10 in the studio. Have a good one.
Bye.
See you later. Okay.
See ya.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Wake Up Classy 97, the podcast. If you enjoy the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Wake Up Classy 97 is hosted by Josh and Chantel Tyler and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com.